There we go. All right, and then I'm going to share my phone. So y'all, I'm not going to be able to type in the chat or mute anybody else. So if you guys see more people hopping on and they're not muted, just share something in the chat. Okay. Can you guys see this? Let me get this out of the way. Is that better? I'm going to make it full screen. Kara, let me know when it's full screen.
Okay. Yep. Looks great.
Perfect. All right. Do you want to kick us off?
Yeah,
All right.
sure. I'd love to. Yeah. So we put together a little montage of pictures for those of y'all that don't know. I'm sure a lot of you do, but Emerald Extravaganza is the trip that you earn whenever you hit the rank of Emerald. It's the a jewel rank. And Brittany and Marissa both have been. This is their fourth Emerald Extravaganza trip. But for me, Cheyenne, Madeline, and Natalie, this is all our first trip. And these are just a few pictures that I put in there from our trip of all of us. It truly, I know each of us are going to kind of go through and share like our favorite little memory from our trip. So, Britt, you can kind of kick us off on your favorite experience from the trip.
All right. I'll do it. Okay, so somebody's not muted. I got you, Sarah. I'm calling y'all out. Sorry. Okay, so this was, like she said, this was my fourth Emerald Extravaganza. So the first one that Marissa and I went to, it's been really cool because we have been able to go to every single one of these trips together. She hit Emerald before I did, but I think she hit it in January and then I hit it in May of that same year. So we both hit the cutoff. And so we were able to go together. And it's just really been an awesome experience for us because those of you who don't know, she is my little baby cousin. And we've just become like travel buddies. And my husband, Evan, and her husband, Alan, are literally like the same person, so quiet, so shy. But you get those two together and crazy stuff goes down. But we've been so blessed that we've been able to do this together for the last 4 years. So the first year when we went, it was to Mexico. And we went to Mayakoba, Mexico. It was absolutely gorgeous. Then the second year we went to Kona, Hawaii, the big island. It's the big island that's basically one big old volcano. And then last year we went back to Mayakoba, Mexico. And then this year was Maui. And this year, I honestly think has been my favorite trip so far because Marissa and I, like I said, we've been doing these trips together for the last 3 years. But last year, she and I were sitting on the beach in Mexico and we were like, okay, this has been fun, but it wasn't even like, it almost sounds like it was getting old. Like we weren't grateful, but we are so grateful that we've been able to do it. But we were tired of seeing all these other jewels having team members there that had just hit jewel status. And we just kind of looked at each other and we said on the beach that morning, we were walking the beach and we both got super emotional. We were talking about our goals for our team and all the things. And we just kind of looked at each other and we were like, this is the last year that we come to this trip alone. We are going to have more people on our team. And y'all, we weren't even dreaming big enough. We were like, we want to have one jewel with us here next year in Hawaii. We're going to have at least one jewel. And we had 7 of us there this year. And so just being able to like see y'all's reaction to certain things, like Marissa and I knew certain things were coming and we'd kind of like tap each other on the leg or look at each other. We're like, we know what's coming. We know what's coming. And then we quickly look at our girls and see like their reaction. Like the day that they gave us the Maui Gym sunglasses, we got to pick these out and everything. Y'all should have seen our girls' reactions. Like the entire room was like jumping up and down, screaming. They couldn't believe it. It was insane. But I think for me, this was definitely my favorite trip so far. But I think my favorite thing that we did on the trip was the road to Hana. So it is very, very hard when you have a group of this many people. Like we had 7 jewels there and their guests. So we had like 15 people on doing this road to Hana with us, and we were all in 5 different cars. We had 4 Jeeps and 1 Durango, and Madeline and Ryan and Cheyenne and Kevin were in the Durango, and we made them lead all of us Jeeps up there because, fun fact, Cheyenne and Evan are like the same person, and they're the planners. So they were literally the tour guides for the entire road to Hana. Cheyenne was in the front and me and Evan were in the back. We had the 2 people telling us where to go and what to do. Every stop, they would get together and figure out where we're going next, and they would just tell us what to do and where we were going. It was hilarious, but we literally got in the Jeeps and we're driving to Road to Hana, and Evan was like, you want to know a good team building activity? Get a bunch of girls together and caravan a 4-hour trip to Road to Hana. He was like, this is going to be interesting because all of us are completely different personalities. And some of us are like, I'm very much so like, take charge, and like, I don't mind like saying this is what we're going to do and whatever. But I was kind of able to just sit back, and we were all cracking up at Evan and Cheyenne. And we even have pictures of them behind all of us looking at their phones, figuring out where we were going next. But y'all, it was a really good team building activity for us. Like, we all worked together. We all figured out which way we were going, which path we were going, because there's multiple paths to take. We took all the pictures. We saw every freaking flower you can imagine in Hawaii. We saw in that Garden of Eden. It was absolutely gorgeous. Waterfalls, all the things. That was probably my favorite trip. Everybody keeps asking what my favorite part of the trip was, and I would say that. Like, the whole thing was absolutely amazing, just because you guys got to be there with us, and just seeing it through fresh eyes was absolutely amazing. It was like doing it all over again for the first time, because I remember being that excited about certain things. So I would definitely say Road to Hana for me was the most memorable. I think that was the day I took the most pictures too. So, okay, so Marissa can't hop on tonight. She had something come up last minute. But I know she has already shared a little bit about her Emerald Extravaganza and her first diamond destination. I don't want to take her thunder because I know she has more that she wants to share. But this picture right here, like, Kara couldn't have picked a more perfect picture for her, because y'all, she has always wanted to take her kids to Hawaii. And she was able to do that this year. It was stressful at times, but she was so glad that she got to do it. Alan was there. All 3 of her kids were there. 2 of the kids, the boys, went home with Alan, and then Laylee got to stay, and Marissa flew her mom, my Aunt Val, in. And so Val got to see it, see Hawaii, and she was just blown away. I knew Aunt Val would love it because her and my Uncle Jay own a plant nursery in Nashville, Arkansas. And so they're all about the plants and flowers. So every time I saw a cool flower, I was like, I bet Aunt Val knows exactly what that is. But I know, like, this being her first diamond trip too, she kept texting me right after I left, and she was like, Britt, this feels so weird not having you here. This is the first trip that we have not done together. And it made me get a little emotional. And I told her, and it will be the last, because I'm not missing out on this. That was the first time that I had to fly home and she wasn't with me. We've always traveled together. And so I was like, enjoy it while you can, because I will be right next to you next year. We're not doing this thing again. So, but she literally, y'all, the only thing I want to share with you guys is the day that we were all flying home, she had a diamond meeting, and they all kind of like were able to give feedback on what they thought went great during Emerald Extravaganza. What do we need to work on? They talked about marketing for the company. We have a new CMO, a new chief marketing officer. And y'all, just so you know, she is legit. I sat next to her by the pool and heard her conversations with people. That chick knows what she's doing. She looks super young, but I'm like, go right ahead. You know exactly what you're doing. She is so good. The plans that she has for the company, Marissa was like, some of the ideas that they were throwing out, I was absolutely blown away. So if you're wondering, like, the state of the company or like what's coming down the pipe, just get ready, because it never fails. Every time we think they can't make it any better, they continue to surprise us. And we know a couple of things. They did share a couple of things with us, like new products that are coming out. But just know that like she was able to get poured into by other diamonds. And that's exactly what she needed. I'm so glad she was able to do that and get poured into, because a lot of times it's her pouring into everybody else. It's her pouring into us, right? And so as leaders, we need that sometimes too. And so I know that was something that she really appreciated. And it made her feel really good too, because a lot of diamonds were stopping her and asking or telling her, congrats on getting here. We love your team. Corporate loves your team. Everyone's watching you. We want to do the things that you're doing. Your team always looks like you're having so much fun. Like it was amazing. She was emotional every time I talked to her. So it was really good for her. I know that she absolutely loved having her babies there. So I can't wait to take my boys there now. Brooks was very mad at me for not taking him because Jake was there. But okay, so here's a couple of pictures from the diamond trip. So the top left, y'all, I love all of their centerpieces and their decorations. Like it's just so cute and extra and bougie and all the things. And so that top middle picture is funny. That's who she sat at, was sitting at her table. You got Marissa and Christina Williams, Jill Renfro, Emily Roberts, I think that's Demi Shaw, and then Alec Clark's making a funny face behind him. So she was literally sitting at the table with all of these diamonds that we all like get googly eyed over when we see them, or they like our stuff or something like that. And they were just pouring into her. So I'm going to let her tell you guys more of what she took away from the diamond trip, but we didn't want to leave her out. We wanted to make sure we shared a little bit of her trip. So all right, so next we've got Madeline. Madeline, where'd you go, girlfriend? I'm going to mute myself and you take it away.
I think if she's not on yet, she said she was headed up to work. We may just have to come back to her whenever she hops on.
Okay.
But I think, is Natalie on? We could go to Natalie and then.
Natalie.
I'm on.
Yay. All right, go for it.
Y'all, okay, so I don't even know where to start. So Maui, let me turn off this little notification. So Maui has been on my bucket list for a very long time. And whenever I first heard about Emerald and knew about the rank and all of that, like I wanted the trip to be Maui in Hawaii so bad that I could not even stand it. And so I just could not even put into words how special this trip was for me. Just getting to go, but then to be able to take my dad and my sister was like super special. I just feel like everybody needs to experience that at some point or another, where they get to take someone that they love on a trip like this that is fully paid for. Like they get to just come and enjoy and experience all of it. Today is my dad's 60th birthday, and so that was like just a special trip that I will never forget. And so I was able to do that. And then just to have my friends with me, like that was super special. And I could just get emotional, y'all, talking about it, because it's like that was a dream for me. Like that was something I always wanted. But then to see my friends, like that become their dream, and then that's something that they got to achieve and something that they get to now envision for people in their life. Like it's so much bigger than me. And so just know that, like, once you get here, y'all, it's so much bigger than yourself. It is truly about the people you get to bring with you along the way. And so my first trip was extra special because I had my dad with me, my sister with me, but I had some of my best friends with me. And so pour into your people, y'all. If you see things in them and you believe in them and you believe in their gifts, let them know, because that could be what they need to hear to step into their potential and to step into this. So, yeah, I think that's really it. Y'all know my heart. Y'all know how special this is for me. And I just want to like listen to Kara and listen to Cheyenne, because it's so special hearing them lead and like hearing their experiences. So I love y'all. It was amazing. But one of my memories though that I'm going to take away from it is the cruise that we did, the dinner cruise. It was so much fun. We went and like did the sunset cruise, which was like 2 hours. We got to watch the sunset, have dinner, and just be together. And then I also just loved the time that we had on the beach, getting to visit and just like really getting to know each other's wives more and just reflecting on all of that. So anyways, I think that's really it. But I love y'all so much, and I'm so honored to be on this team.
Love that.
I
All right, I
think,
think Madeline is on now, right? All
yes.
right, Madeline, surprise.
Well, hello. What are we sharing here? I love it. I can do this. I can do this.
Surprise.
What's up? What's the
Okay,
question
so
here?
we're all just kind of
Birthday.
sharing, some of our takeaways from your first Emerald trip. Like, what was your favorite thing? Was it anything like you thought it would be? Share all the things. Ryan, you and Ryan
Well,
look so freaking cute in that picture too, by the way. That was on
oh,
dinner cruise, y'all.
yes, that was on the dinner cruise and that was really fun. I think really like looking at everything, like there was one beach that we went to that we really liked. I don't know if anybody has shared or what y'all all have shared, but anyways, and it was like it felt like it was very private. It was in like a gated community, and so we went there and just spent a lot of time. But really, like I feel like as far as from the Emerald Extravaganza part is the moments that all the other jewels from other teams poured into us. And so they just shared all the information, like there was no holding back. There was nothing that like they wouldn't be willing to share in order for everybody to progress forward and win. And I loved that because you could tell that it was truly a heart of like wanting everybody to succeed and then our teams to succeed. So like everybody was just so willing to share their hearts, sharing what works for them. And so I felt like that just spoke to the heart of this company and the people that are here. And so I feel like that was huge for me. And we get poured in from all of us, and that's huge, and it's very important. But then also hearing from other perspectives and what things are working, what things really didn't work is also, something that we all absorbed and took in. And we were like, oh, let's write that down. That's so good. Or, yeah, that's actually something that we've struggled with too. And so we're looking at shifting that. And so it was just a time for really strong collaboration. And you could tell that literally everybody was like in sync with it. So I would say that that was a big thing. And I know I can get Ryan on here too because I'm gonna call you out, brother. Get your hat turned. Oh, is Jay? Oh, wait. Okay. Well, never mind. Come say something about it real quick. Because yeah, because I feel like honestly, sometimes like having the spouses, y'all, is just like really huge. And so
Oh, they got my picture on here.
Hello, Ryan.
Wow.
Y'all look too good not to put that picture on there.
They got me going on here.
Oh, but like what from your perspective? I mean, I know we both had no idea what we were talking, but what did you feel like just from your, I know y'all got to like play golf and like you got to experience a lot, like you went to the trainings and things like that. But I mean, you really didn't get bought in fully until you went on your first event with Lexus, And so I feel like this kind of you got to see all the spoiling, y'all nightly gifts. Like I was like, what is this life? Like, this is amazing. And he kept saying, like, when we'd walk into the room, he'd like, because they would kind of move it places too. I don't know about with everybody else, but Ryan was like, it wasn't in the first spot, but then right at, like on the bed, and Ryan's like, ooh, So, anyways, just what was your takeaway?
How many people's on here?
I don't know. 52.
52 people, man. We got a party in here. So if you've never been on one of these trips, it's at least from my perspective as a spouse, I cheer Madeline on all the time. So for me, it's the first time, well, not this event, but if you go to an event, it'll be a time that you actually see the community side of Plexus. Like it's not just about business. You really feel the community impact of it. And I love all these were mostly jewels there. And I love that they all came there and they shared knowledge with one another, their insights, what they did, how they got where they're at. And it was just a community impact. So that was super cool to see. And I think you all have your next event coming up. And
Like the cruise you're saying, like
yeah,
whatever. Yeah, like
the
that.
cruise
Right now,
coming
that's
up.
going right now, y'all, and
So
everybody can earn that.
I highly recommend going for that and trying to earn it because it's such a life-changing experience. At least for us, we don't ever plan vacations, so it forces us to get out and do stuff. And if you do have a spouse and you're doing this, you can bring them along. There's a bunch of husbands that do this, and we all have a good time. Highly recommend it.
Yeah, love that. Thanks. I don't think I hear Jay anymore, so maybe he put himself back to sleep. Anyways, yeah, I don't wait, hold on, let's see. There's a question for you.
Oh man, I got a question.
Ryan, would
Let's
you
go.
agree that the spouse needs to go to believe in this?
Read that.
That's Marissa. She's on there, but
Oh, what up, Marissa?
so what's your response to that? Do you believe that they need to go? Like if you know, people are married or whatever, do you feel like that's where things kind of really took off? You know, because there
It
was even that
was.
couple group that talked about that in the event.
The first one that we went to was a cruise, and for like a spouse, a husband, you kind of, and I'm just being honest here, you're
Yeah.
kind of skeptical when it first happens, right? Everybody's selling Plexus, and for a husband, you just don't know what it is. You're like, what is this thing? I see all you ladies doing
Is it
this.
real
Is this
money?
real? Is this real going
That's
on?
what
Like,
he
what's
said at first.
really happening? So, but once I went on that trip, you really get the feeling of, okay, this is a legit company and these are legit people and this is a legit business.
And you got to meet Alec.
I got
Or
to
you
meet
got
Alec. I
yeah,
got to meet
Dean.
Gene, you name it. I've met them all. And they're down to earth people. They don't like they're not gonna roll up on you, you know, in their nice suit and everything.
Mm-mm.
Like they wear just normal clothes and they come around and they have normal family conversations with you. It's a super cool experience. So I would definitely say if you can on one of them, I understand you got to build a business too. So if you got some business builders, bring them along. But if you can bring your spouse, definitely bring them because it will fire them up and they will support your cause in Plexus.
Love that. Okay. Thank you, sir. Well, I don't
I
know.
love
Did
that.
that
Okay,
answer
I want to
that?
add something really quick
Yeah,
too. Sorry, Kara, I'm hijacking. I think it was really, really good for our Ryan. I think it was really good for all of our spouses, significant others to get together too. Like he was saying, all the guys went golfing and y'all, we've trained them so well. We're like, you better take pictures. We want pictures. We want proof. So they're like sending us pictures, you know, throughout the day and everything while they're golfing, but they have so much fun together that like they come back and we're all hanging out at the pool and there was another couple there, I think, talking to Kevin and Ethan that wasn't a part of Plexus. And they're like, what are y'all doing here? Like you guys are everyone, you're all part of this big group, but like your group over here is so happy and you're talking like about all the things that you guys are doing and all of that. Like people see that. People see that when you're out in public and they want to be a part of it. So we got to see firsthand our husbands and our new Emerald ambassador, Ethan Passmore. He should have been on this call, Matt. Like stepping up and like talking to people about the products. Cause now like you guys, it gives you wouldn't you say, Ryan, it kind of gives you a little bit of confidence knowing that like she's not selling crack to people. Like she's helping people feel better. She's making a difference in people's lives. And because of that, she got to take you on this super bougie first class vacation that you guys are just like, holy cow, like how are they able to do this? This is insane. And it again,
1000%.
yeah.
And honestly, y'all, he's like the ultimate high. Like he goes to the barbershop now because he doesn't. But he's like, girl, oh, you struggling with like energy. Oh, hey, go talk to my wife. She's got your like. He is constantly
I was
now.
pitching products tonight. We went and ate at Nuke's over here in Sling County.
I can't even
I
take
love
him
it.
anywhere. I'm just like,
He's gonna
like,
start telling you, Matt. He's gonna be like, "You're putting them under me now, right? Right?
yeah,
I
I
did that
know,
work.
but
Put
like
them
it's
under me."
so yes, it's so wild. But like truly, it just talking to all of you that if you do have a husband that's kind of like, what is this? Like, get them to an event because it really is where things change for
Yep.
people. And then you'll feel supported. You'll feel like you're here purposefully and like now your husband's on board and they're seeing the real money. They're seeing the real trips. They're feeling the community. They're feeling like he got poured into by Scott, Emily Roberts' husband. And like they were talking about all the hype of all the things that they've gotten to experience in her 10 years of Plexus. And I'm talking some bougie stuff. And Ron's like, dude, Emily and her, and like hyping me up. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And this brother was not about that first go around. He's like, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. And it's just true. And I know a lot of a lot of people deal with that. And so I just want
I
to
love being
encourage, like, yeah, go, what is it? Oh, but anyways, Married to Plexus
Married
now,
to
he's all
Plexus.
in.
I
So
love the products. I take the products.
that's
I
right.
try and work out.
Really.
It's valid. Get
So
your husbands on board. It makes a difference. Go
Love
team.
it. Thanks, Ryan. All right, back to regular programming. All right, Cheyenne. Where did Cheyenne go? I saw her earlier.
Go after
Hey.
that, Shay.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry,
yeah.
Shay.
Where's Kevin?
Thanks, Ryan. Thank you so much. Okay, so I just wanted to piggyback on that just a little bit. This is my cousin Kevin, and like Ryan, he did not have belief in Plexus. He supported me for all the years, 2 years up until his first trip on our cruise last November, and he has been all in since. And he helps so much more like around the house and all the things that I can work my business. And like he has the kids because I'm on team call. And it's just really special to see the friendship that he has had with all of the husbands, and it's just a really special trip too. I really loved I wasn't gonna talk about this, but since Ryan got on in one of our sessions, they brought up two diamond couples, and both like they work Plexus together, and I loved the questions that they asked because one of the questions was like, how does the husband fit into your business? And it's different for everyone. And so we as a couple are trying to figure out where my husband can help more in ways that will take loads off of me. And like it's probably going to end up being taxes for us so that I don't have to worry about that. But I loved like the Slavin said like the wife does like a lot of the posting and all that, and then the husband leads their team calls, which I just thought it was really cool that they figured out how they could work together and work as a team, because this can be a team business. And so just wanted to share that. But anyways, my favorite part, this was honestly like a top-notch vacation, and the resort was beautiful. The beaches are beautiful. Food was amazing pretty much anywhere you went. So I just have a really busy life, and so I was excited about Hawaii, but like, yeah, it's whatever. And then like a couple weeks out, I'm like starting to like really like dig into Hawaii and all the things, and I was like freaking out. I was like, oh my gosh, look at these donuts and look at this food and look at all these things you can do, and there's sea turtles everywhere, and like so that was really cool. But one of my favorite parts is the daily conversations that we had amongst our team, but as well as talking to other jewels and diamonds. And so we did a lot of like, we went to the beach and we went on our tour, we went to Rotohana and all these things, but we always ended up usually back in the pool at our resort. And that's where you had those good conversations. And from diamonds that are so inspiring, Emily Roberts, Jill Renfro, they poured into our team. And I talked to a lot of jewels who like emeralds who went emerald this year. So we like ran together and just getting to know them and getting to share ideas and collaborate and grow together, and just really getting to know them more personally was really, really special because I learned a lot. And so I want to share just a few takeaways because I was going to share this tonight anyway. So a few takeaways I had from those conversations is that it's okay to set boundaries. So a lot of people, especially, I am Emerald and I still work full time. And so it's okay to set expectations with your team up front. And I know sometimes we don't do that because like, we don't want to be like, not available. But there are jewels who set like a boundary. So talk to Haley Carter. She's a full-time teacher. And so her team knows that she is unavailable from 7 to 3, but you can contact her anytime before or after that. And just having those expectations so that you don't feel the constant pressure to be on your phone, to respond as soon as possible. Like there are things that can wait. And it's also really good to, set those boundaries and like be able to guide them to third-party resources that they can utilize. Help Center is amazing. Our team pages, Gut Health, Hope, and Happiness for testimonies, our Hope Dealers, maybe it's in our messenger threads. And so I loved that. And I actually talked to Roz, and she is one of Celeste Gwen's best friends. And she worked this business and went like executive up until she was sapphire. And so her team, she was really big on like the boundaries because her team knew that they couldn't reach her during the day and that they had to hold all their questions until lunchtime. And so she's like, I might get a text message from my team my team member who had 7 questions. But they knew they could reach me at lunchtime and then after work. And so I loved that, just hearing from other people that it's okay to set boundaries, because I know we struggle with that a lot. But you have to have a balance with work and life. And so my other takeaway, I have 2 more. So it's okay to expect more from someone rather than giving them everything you have with nothing in return. So people, we want to give back to you. We want to pour into you. But when we like provide so many things for you guys to do on the daily, if you're not doing them, we're going to ask you to like reevaluate and maybe use the resources that we're giving to you before we like can do like an intentional one-on-one call. And I really love that. You guys, we provide so many awesome things. We're going to do the Do It Daily again. We have the Growing for Gold call every week. We have team calls. Podcast resources. There's a lot there. If you're not like posting every single day, like we just ask a little bit in return to be able to pour into you guys. And so I love that, because hearing it from some other people that like that's how they built their business just really like settled well with me, just because we are like really busy people. And then one thing I really struggle with. So like I said, very busy person. We have 4 pillars in this business. We have duplication, retention, recruitment, and then leadership. And I think that a lot of the times when we're busy, we tend to put leadership pillar on the back burner. And I will be the first to admit, as a Jewel, that is my fault. And it's something that talking to a lot of Jewels and Diamonds, like it's something that I can't put on the back burner any longer, because I cannot grow if I'm not pouring into myself and developing my leadership skills and developing my personal development and all the things. And so I was the only Jewel on our team in Hawaii without a Jewel there. Well, me and Kara. And so I was like, this is not going to happen again. And so in order to do that, I have to put my leadership skills, make it a priority. I have to learn to grow, how to be more confident. And so yeah, this is me y'all hold me accountable. We're gonna have some really good things coming up. And so leadership is important, and I just cannot stress that enough. So I'm excited for some things that we have coming for that. So I talked to Jill Renfro a little bit about what she recommended for leadership development for gold rank and above. And I think this could really apply to anyone, especially if you're just starting this business, or maybe you're kind of feeling stuck where you're at. And she said that there's not one leadership book that she would just kind of recommend, but one thing that she does recommend is digging into podcast. And she specifically name dropped Leadership with Brittany Howard. And so if you have not listened to that podcast, I highly encourage it. So I have listened to every single episode. So if you are going to start the leadership podcast, start from episode 1. Do not miss a single episode. And that's not coming from me. That's coming from Jill Renfro. And I know that she inspires a lot of us. So also she mentioned Prosperity with Purpose by Jessica Heffley. That's another one that's really, really good. And then Ambition Coalition. And yes, Sarah, I'll put it in here. And that's from Rebecca and Melissa. And these are all diamonds in our company who are really successful. So dig into those podcasts and make leadership development a priority, and don't put that pillar on the back burner. So anyways, good conversations was probably one of my favorite parts. We had a devotional morning on the beach and with our team, and that was really, really special. And just kind of being vulnerable with each other and what we struggle with, because I know sometimes it's hard for like me and Brittany to like dig into our emotions. And so it was a really good time to just have those conversations.
We had fun crying together, didn't we, Cheyenne?
We did.
Love it. Okay, let's see. Okay, so Kara is wrapping it up for us? Go ahead, Kara.
Yeah, so I think it's hard for me to go. Honestly, I'm like, I don't even know what to share. So I'll be honest with you, I am battling, like I'll just be vulnerable and I'm gonna try not to get emotional, but I'm battling like that imposter syndrome. I think every Joel I talk to, you know, that's totally normal, but I will tell you, you think like once you hit Joel, you're like, oh, I've hit Joel rank. Like this is, you know, I've made it in a sense, in the top 3% of the company, but I've really battled imposter syndrome and feeling worthy enough to be on stage and feeling worthy enough to lead a call, to host things and step out of my comfort zone and grow into that leadership role. And so, for me, Hawaii was really special because, as y'all see here, my husband is a coach and a teacher. And so he is a football coach and he's also a head baseball coach. And so, literally, all season round, except for summer, he can't leave. And so my mom always gets to come with me on trips. So just know that if you're not married and you have a relative, it's okay if you're not in that season of being a spouse or have a significant other. It's okay. You can bring your mom and have fun or whoever is special to you. And she's always so much fun. Like she's a blast. And something really special for me with Hawaii is her and I actually went to Oahu in 2019 whenever my stepdad passed away. And so that was like a really special trip for just her and I. And so and she like paid for the whole thing. And so for me to be able to take her back and pay for everything, like the food, I mean, Plexus obviously pays for flights and the car rental and all of that, but just being able to take her on this trip and treat her, that was my way of sort of giving back to her in a sense. But what was so cool for me, I'm like trying so hard not to get super emotional. It like I think she knows that I'm battling that in this new like growing into a leader. And so she was seeing all of that, right? And she would just consistently nudge like, you're meant to be here. Like I'm here with you because you worked really hard and you have an amazing team of people that helped you get here. Like remember that. Like and it's everything that I want to share with y'all is that, you know, your purpose and your gifts and all of that. But I just have a hard time sometimes just feeling worthy to be able to lead. And so my favorite part really is what Cheyenne was talking about was the devotional on the beach. It was just really special because I feel like we get to like lead things and talk on these Zooms and stuff like that, but being able to just open up our souls to one another and just be vulnerable and share like these are some of the things that I battle and kind of talk about our weaknesses and areas that we can communicate better and things that I can work on or gifts that somebody sees in another, you know, each other. And it was just cool because we were like, you know, we can work together better because network marketing is difficult because it is a very selfless thing, but it's also a very selfish thing. I mean, if we're honest with each other, right? And it's a mindset shift in that. It's so refining. And so being able to talk about our strengths and weaknesses to one another and learn how we can grow together was really cool. And I know we're probably getting low on time here, so we can kind of speed through the last slides because I do think they're really, really good and important. So Cheyenne I think the next one is Cheyenne. I don't know if she's able to share.
Hey, yes, sorry. Okay,
Good. You
so
can make
yeah,
it.
yeah, I'll definitely make this quick. So I just wanted to share, we had a keynote speaker in our first training, and his name was Ben Niminton. Hopefully I did not butcher that. But everything he spoke about, he has a really cool story, but like there were certain things that he said where I was like, we could connect that back to the Plexus opportunity and what we're doing here. And so his whole thing was like, what do you want to do before you die? which is like a really, tough and hard question, I feel like. But that's what we're here to do. So him and 3 buddies made a list of 100 things on their bucket list of what they were wanted to accomplish. And I'm pretty sure they've like marked off 90 something of them. And one is like to go to outer space, and he just signed a contract and he's doing some crazy something next year where he's like going up in like this hot air balloon type situation. So, I don't know, crazy. So anyways, it was just really cool. And so they wanted to film a movie, and it has been, I think they started this at like late 2000s, and they are actually about to premiere The Buried Life on MTV. So I thought that was really cool. He just talks a lot about for every bucket list item that they crossed off, it evolved into helping a stranger cross something off of their bucket list. They just had like made a website, and people were coming to them, asking them questions, asking them how to help them cross something off their bucket list. So it like revolved into this whole movement of like they would cross something off their bucket list and help a stranger. And so it really just went into something super big, like bigger than they ever could have imagined. And like they got to provide a young girl with like a bionic arm, all thanks to Twitter. So they've done really cool things. They played basketball with President Obama at the White House. We can put all of his stuff in here, but really just I don't want to talk too much on it because of time, but he is a huge mental health advocate. And so some things that he said that really was like, okay, we need to think about this in our business and when we're working is that we always need to evolve and be creative. Whether if we're feeling stuck in our business, we need to find creative ways to maybe reach out to someone differently, or how to get someone plugged into an event, do something different than what you've done in the past. And like any business, we're always changing, especially with technology. And so being open-minded to evolving and changing, it was like, okay, I need to do that in my Plexus business, right? So humans have ups and downs, and that's just the human experience. So remember that when you're reaching out to people and maybe you get ghosted or whatever, maybe they're having a bad day. Maybe that's why they said no or didn't reply. And so who you are is truly who you're meant to be, and embrace your strengths and weaknesses. And so that is like a huge thing in this business. And so we're not going to be great at everything we do. If you know me, I'm not a creative person, but I have people on my team who are. And so I can plan and I can organize, but I reach out to those people and I delegate to the people on my team who are good at things that I am not. And we work as a team. And so I love when he said that, because it made me think of like those moments where we share. We work together as a team so well, because someone whose weakness might be someone else's strength. So you can't serve others if you don't serve yourself. And so that's what I talked about, pouring into myself and learning and developing my leadership, focusing on growing and leadership skills, personal development. And just like I said, fill your cup and dig into podcasts, Bible studies, devotionals, leadership books, anything like that. And then, so he talked about you are changing the life of families who desperately need it. And that's exactly what we're doing here at Plexus. So this goes beyond much more than a pink drink. This is changing the direction of your life by sharing with one person. Every time you share with someone, like you have the opportunity to change their life. And so I thought that was just like really special, because that's what we're doing here at Plexus, is just like changing the direction of my life. And without Plexus, me and my husband would just work corporate America for the rest of our lives. And that's okay, but that's just not what we want. We really just seek more for our lives and want to change that. And so Plexus is that gateway of how we're going to be able to do that. So how do you measure impact? And he says anything that you can do to create a ripple effect, and change can happen even if you don't see it. So even if you don't feel like your life is changing, or you're helping someone else change their life, or that you're growing in your leadership skills, like if you can't see it, other people still can. And so just know that. I liked this because I talked about earlier about setting boundaries and a balance that we need to have a work-life harmony. And so you get life from the things you do, but you also get life from the work you do. And for me, like I get that life from sharing Plexus with other people and helping other people change their life. And I have awesome women on my team who like I hope and pray that I would have been able to share this opportunity with them and that it's changed their life and that it can continue to change their life. And so that's really what we're doing here. He talked a lot about, what do you want to do before you die? And to me, that resonated with, we always talk about our God-sized dreams. And that's not something, is there a slide for this? Oh, no, this is it. Okay. So it's what you want from life. So some consider this the most important things in your life, but like a bucket list is that device. But I challenged my team last week. So really think about this is, sorry, my son just walked in. So I challenged my team to this last week is I wanted them to like send me 3 God-sized dreams that they had that wasn't tied to a rank. Something that they really wanted from the Plexus opportunity that could change their life, but it wasn't rank specific. It wasn't anything like that. Like I really wanted to know what they wanted from this opportunity. So is there the next slide, Kara, please? Okay, so the what's next and things that are going to help us reach those dreams are deadlines. Deadlines create accountability. So set goals for yourself, but make them specific with deadlines. And then accountability helps to create inspiration through action and stop waiting to be inspired. Hold yourself accountable. I love these accountability groups. I also like the power hours that we do too, because I feel like doing it together and holding each other accountable to get work done is like moving that needle forward in our business. And then fear, because fear is going to be your friend to keep going. Fear of what you'll become if you don't change your life and circumstances, and the fear of, are you okay with where your life is now? And if not, let that fear drive you forward in changing your circumstances. And so anyways, Plexus can take you anywhere that you want to go. So like we need to stop playing small in this business because I know Marissa says that a lot, but there's so much more than just a couple extra $100 or a couple extra $1,000 a month. There's so much more that we can do here. We just have to let go of the fear and really dream about that. And so just make this quick because of time. 5 steps to make the impossible possible. And this is from Ben, is to write down your dreams. So you guys do all this, and I can share this in more detail with you guys too, but write down your dreams. And when you write your list, take an idea and make it real. So writing that list is kind of like a contract to yourself, and writing it down can make it a reality. So share your dreams, talk about your dreams, share it with your upline, share it with your downline, share it in your stories. That might seem crazy and fearful, but you're going to hold yourself accountable and just take those people on that journey with you, right? So unstoppable, keep taking actions. And people trick themselves into thinking that external forces are the reason they fail, but the simple truth that you fail is because you stop trying. I thought that was really good. And then be brave. So move through the fear. And I think that fear really holds us back in this business. I know that I did not share for 6 months when I first started because I was fearful of what other people would think of me. And when I did start sharing, it was just here and there because I was very fearful of what people would think about sharing the pink drink. I got over that now, and I don't care because those people don't pay my bills or live my life or raise my kids. And so getting over that fear is really going to help you in this business. I'm 100% confident in that. So the last 5 of the 5 steps is to give. And so give without expectation, because helping others is going to reduce those pleasure-inducing chemicals and like endorphins that are really going to just like, put you in a good mood. And don't ever expect to give a compliment or give to someone or buy from a small business and think that those people are going to support you or that they are going to be your Plexus customer. Just give because you genuinely can and you want to. Okay, that's it. I thought he was really good. I'm going to share his Instagram with you guys because he's a good one to follow.
Thank you, Cheyenne. And I will be really quick because I know it's getting late and I have a toddler to get to bed too. So I'm going to briefly share. If y'all have never heard of Amber Miller, go look her up. She's a diamond and she's fantastic. I can actually share the YouTube link to this training that she shared at Emerald Extravaganza. The Rainies, who are a diamond couple, shared it on their YouTube page and it's super good. So, what is your red dot? Do you know your strengths and have a vision for where you're going? And are you doing the things that you know will get you there? I know for me, I am not doing the things that I know will get me to diamond level. And something that has shifted for me since going to Emerald Extravaganza is that I'm going to start treating this like a business and not a hobby, because it is a side hustle for me. I do work full time, but I know there are little nooks and crannies of my life where I can focus. And whenever there was something I wrote down, without focus, you get sucked into reaction mode. And so it's so easy for us to sit there and say, oh, I've got 5 minutes, I've got my timer going. And then you see something that catches your eye on your newsfeed and you just start scrolling. And then you fall into that rabbit hole and you look up and 10 minutes has passed by and you've gotten nothing done. So know where you're going. Okay, you can go to the next slide. This is just, we talk about this all the time. I know these things seem cliche, but there's a big mindset shift that has to take place here. Have you been playing it small and safe? Cheyenne said this. Have your insecurities been louder than your gratitude for what you can achieve? Get over yourself. And I thought that was so good. Amber said that because it was like, you know what? That's so true, because I can sit there and say, I'm not worthy to be here. I'm not, whatever I'm saying to myself, when I know that my goal here is to help kingdom-minded families create abundance. And that is a very great responsibility. So I'm going to get over myself and get over my fears and know that the purpose I have set out with this business is much greater than myself. And I want y'all to ask yourself these things too. I wanted y'all to see this because this is huge. This is a very real scenario. This is someone's points that Genevieve shared from August of 2023 to July of 2024. Whenever you go and do what Cheyenne shared, writing your list of your dreams, go and write your points down. Go look at your points today, September 23rd, 2024, and write them down. And set yourself, where do you want to be in 7 months? Y'all look at that. I can't even read that if I'm being totally honest with you. But you can see, I should have wrote them down, that huge spike in the points. Yeah, can you see that? Okay, so January of 24, they were at 299. At May of 24, I'm gonna do that math in my head. 5 months later, over 2,000 points, y'all. That's crazy. That is so crazy. And it kind of goes back to, without focus, you get sucked into reaction mode. And if you can focus, if you can have quality focus on your business and get serious about it being a business and not a hobby, if that's your goal. I know that's not everybody's goal here, but I'm talking to those of you who have a dream, a God-sized dream with this business. Look at that. That is somebody's true points. You can do that too. Brittany. Okay, this is the one where I hope and pray, Lord, give me the words to say. I don't want to step on toes here, but this is like a huge wake-up call to me personally here. Hear my heart. Energy. You don't get paid for the amount of time you put into the business. You get paid for the energy you put into this business. So the monthly incentives or rank ups cannot be where you find your motivation. But the biggest thing I wanted to share that I feel like it has helped me just in my mindset shift is, this is not a sorority. We are all friends here, and I think the community is so important. I think that is game changer. The community is what drew me in. It's what drew a lot of us in, but we have gotten, I think our team and a lot of us, it's network marketing in general, gets into like the girl gang mentality that we lose sight and we lose focus and we don't treat it as a business. And I am guilty here that I don't treat this as a business oftentimes because it's just something fun for me. And I'm not truly seeing the legacy impact that can be made by my decisions. And so I just want to remind you all of that and think about how, and it kind of goes back to what Cheyenne was saying. Jill Renfro is the one who actually this is something she shared with us in the pool, and y'all, I promise our whole team was like like our mouths were just because I've just never thought about it like that, y'all. And Christina Williams is another diamond who was very straightforward with me. Like, what do you want? What do you want from this? You know, what is your goal with this? And if we're lackadaisical in our goals, if we're just like, well, I want to be an emerald, but like if you're not clear on where you're going, if you're not clear on what you want this to look like, then the path to get there is going to be really muddy and it's going to be really difficult for you to get there and show other people how to get there too. And I'm telling y'all this because I'm an emerald and I'm like, holy crap, now I've got to figure out how to, like, I know the action that I need to do. I know how I got here, but now I have to tell other people how to do it too. I don't know, like I just got here, like I'm just here. But that's not duplicatable. And that's something I have to work on as a leader to grow and develop, like Cheyenne was saying, is that's something that I want y'all to hold me accountable to, is learning to grow and develop into my leadership. But just reminding ourselves too that this is a business, this pays people's bills. This is people's livelihoods. And just remember that our goal is to help kingdom-minded families create abundance. And that's amazing, y'all. The ministry, the impact that we have on people's lives being changed truly. And I think that is just my whole, like a blind was lifted over the trip, because I just didn't realize, I know obviously the impact, but true impact that can happen whenever we treat it like a business and not just like a fun little hobby. That it started out for me that way. But if you can learn to grow into that mindset shift, I think that it truly can change your life. And the last question, just for y'all to think about this, write this down. Who will you take on the cruise to the Bahamas? Remember that this month, double credits. So everything that you're doing this month is matters. And so I thank y'all so much for listening to us. We were super nervous to lead. That's something that we're growing into. And I'm sorry we kept you for a whole dang hour. I love all. We've lost a few folks, 36 people. But I thank y'all so much. And I'm here to learn and grow with y'all.
All right, y'all. Good job. All right, so who's going to be on the cruise with us in February, and then who's going to be working to get on the Alaska cruise with us next September? So I saw a question earlier. Somebody asked if it was always Hawaii or Mexico for the Emerald Extravaganza. It has been in the past, but they decided to change it up on us this year, and they're going to take us to Alaska on an Alaskan cruise. We have the whole ship to ourselves, just like the last two cruises have been, but it's an even more bougie ship. And I'm pretty sure it's like 7 or 8 days or something like that. So it'll be even longer than the Leaders Retreat cruise. So if you liked the last Leaders Retreat cruise and you didn't want it to end, then let's get to work and let's get you on the boat for the Alaskan cruise. Okay. You guys can absolutely do it. All right. So I think that's it. I think that's everybody. So you guys have a good night. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, and let's go chase those goals and make them a reality. Okay. All right, guys, have a good night.